I mean, it's not fancy, but, you know, we're not building fancy race engines here. We're building junkyard engines. Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm on the garage again, working on the S10. As you saw in the last video, I got the brakes all installed. Today I'm going to be doing the brake lines, and then once I do that, I'm going to start working on the cylinder heads, take them to the car wash them up, get ready to put the new seals and valve springs on to get them back on the engine, and hopefully get the engine in this week. I had the original brake lines. They're right here. Original. They're pretty rusty in that. So I think I'm going to head out and get some new ones. These ones are not bad, but because I modified the frame a little bit, they'd have to be bent up a bunch. Plus this side is a little bit seized, doesn't want to spin. I'm going to head to parts store and I'm going to grab some new brake lines. Plus I also got a package at the P.O. box from somebody. So when I get back, we'll take a look at that too. Alright, so I'm back from the parts store now. I was going to take you along, but it's dark out, so you wouldn't be able to see very much anyways. So this is what I picked up. I got 3 different lines. I kind of measured that one there, and it was just over 30. I thought I could get a 3-foot long one, but they actually don't have anything 3 feet long. So I might have to cut down, use this one, and then cut down this 20-inch, because I thought 12 would be good. It looks like it'll be better with one of those, so I don't know, we'll see. I'll have to start bending up the big one first, get it kind of mounted, and then see how I look to connect it to the other side. My other plan is with that master cylinder I got, which is off like a 2000 S10, came with these really cool braided lines right here. So I'm hoping to use those to go from the master, and my plan is just to go straight to a T-fitting, this here T-fitting right here. So I'm going to start bending those up, and oh, but first I got a package here we should take a look at. So this is from Dave Conley. I'd wait till the guys came over in the next day or two, but they want to know what Dave sent us too. So holy moly! Wow. Check for $100. That's pretty awesome, Steve. I don't really know what to say. Thanks a lot. Let's see. Rob, Mike, and Clayton. Happy New Year, SPP. I love your channel and the live feeds. I have learned about turbos and LS engines, but most of all, enjoy your guys just being car guys. Thought I would buy the next round of drinks, or put the money on the shit horse, or wherever you see fit. Your YouTube friend, Dave. Well, that's really awesome, Dave. Thanks a lot. Actually, we're planning on going to Minneapolis in about 2 weeks. Go see Yellow Wolf play in concert. So maybe we'll hold on to that money for that, and we will have some drinks with it. So yeah, thanks a lot. Alright, so let's get back to work. Pretty much, this is the old brake line, this is the new brake line. Pretty simple. Just sort of line it up. There is tools to bend it, but for most situations I find it easier just to use your hands. Kind of bend it into the same way. Of course, at some point I'll have to go to the truck. As long as you're careful, you can't screw it up too much. Plus, it's very flexible, so you can rebend it again and again if you have to. Alright, so then just get it into place. Put it into the brake line, get it started. Hopefully that's pretty good. Alright, I'll have to get some kind of clamp to hold that down. Reuse the factory little clamp, just goes around the hose, and then find the original hole, and then drive her home. That's pretty good. Now I'll just have to start on the other side. I think I might have to use the longer one that I got, so that's good that I got it. I think that short one might be too short. Turns out that it's kind of not really where I want it. It ended up being like way back here, and I kind of want it to be over here. So actually I bent the short line that I got and got it up over here, which is more where I want the T to be. So what I did is I ended up going back to the parts store and I got a 40-inch long line. So I'm going to take that 30-inch one off, rebend it, and put it in. Alright, so I got the new line laid out. Pretty much the same as the other one. The only difference is it's longer now. And it goes to there. And then my plan is to either get an adapter fitting, adapter T, like a T that's got a 1/4 inch here, or an adapter to go from 3/16 to 1/4. And then this is going to go in there, something like that, so that I can use these braided lines that came with the Master, because they're really cool. The only thing is I'm not 100% sure where the manifold sits and the valve cover and the steering shaft, so I'll probably end up leaving this off. I mean, I can bend this and get it to go around either on this side. Probably it'll have to go like it is, so that because the steering shaft will kind of come through here. So I think this should be good. And then this one is just going to go down here. This is the line that goes to the rear, and that's the proportioning valve I'm going to put here and have it go through the floor so that I can make adjustments on it. And then this line will connect into that. Same thing, I'm going to have to do a little bending probably of the line to get it to fit, because it doesn't quite, you know, it's close to lining up there. So I think I'll just be able to bend that a little bit. I mean, it's nice if I can use these braided lines because they're cool and they were free. So the brake lines there are done, other than getting that fitting. And so that means that pretty much the whole front end is all back together now. Time to get started getting that engine back together. So I'm at the car wash. I know it's really loud in here. I'm just going to wash these cylinder heads up. Alright, so I'm back at RFG. I got the cylinder heads here. They cleaned up pretty good. They were actually really clean to start with, so this engine is actually in really good condition, really has lower mileage on it. They cleaned up pretty nice. So the first thing on the agenda today will be to put them up on the bench. They got to come apart, and I got 2 broken bolts, exhaust manifold bolts that have to be taken out, so we'll probably do that first, and then start taking them apart and clean them up and put the new valve springs and seals on and get them ready to go on the engine. So we got 1 broken stud in this head, and I think there's 1 broken stud in the other head. So how I usually do them is like this. I'll just weld a little bit of weld onto this stud to make it higher. So I need the welding rod would help. So I want to add some more, but I got contaminated the tungsten. So just give me a second. One thing with TIG welders, if you get the end dirty, you gotta clean the tungsten off, else it welds for crap. Okay, so let's try this again. We'll add another bit of metal to it. And drop a nut on there. That. Take your wrench, and hopefully, and of course you should be able to do this with a MIG welder too. There you go, just like that. Comes out no problem. I'll do the other head. There's one on the other head too, and then I'll come back and we'll start taking the heads apart. Alright, so now I got those out. Now to take the valve springs on, just give them a little hit, loosen them up if they're stuck. These should be easy to take apart because they're stalkers. The valve's going to fall out of there. Valve number 1. Of course, these are just stock springs, so they don't have much spring pressure on them. They're simple, super simple to get out. If it's a big aftermarket spring, has tons of seat pressure, then they're usually harder to get out. The springs don't matter because I'm changing them, but the valves you want to keep in order. Alright, well that's it. They're actually looking really, really nice shape, these heads. So now I'm just going to take a bit of time to clean these up a bit. You know, clean them over. I also got new seals, so I'll pull those off. Those should just come off. Tons of oil under them. Like I said, I bought new ones. They were cheap, so might as well change them while it's apart. And that's that. Now the heads are totally apart. Like I said, well, this head's totally apart. I'm going to clean it all up and then get ready for the next step. So now I'm going to do a quickie valve job. So what I do, I mean, I'm obviously not going to send these to the machine shop and spend a bunch of money. These heads are actually in really nice shape. So what I like to do is put some of this valve grinding compound on there. Put it in here, like that. And take your drill, put it on the end of the valve, tighten it. Machine shop guys are probably cringing right now, but that's okay. Then, pop the valve out, clean it off, do the same here. All you want to see is a nice uniformed, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You can sort of see where it's been sanded on. If it's nice and uniform all the way around, that's where the valve seats against the valve seat. And if you got a nice uniformed sanded area all the way around, that means it's going to seal up good and you're good. I mean, it's not fancy, but you know, we're not building fancy race engines here. We're building junkyard engines. Also, you can check your valve guide for play. You can wiggle it up and down and see if it's really loose or not. Okay, so now these exhaust valves, I don't know why the exhaust valves are always pretty rusty kind of on the edge there. So kind of do the same thing. Put some compound on. You can even put a little on the seat itself if you want, just so it's extra, especially with the exhaust valves, because they always seem to be a little crustier than the intake valves. I mean, they make a tool. It's a little rubber suction cup on a piece of wood. You put on the end, this side of the valve, and then you go like this, and that pretty much just does what this does, except I think this is faster. And then you'll see now the after, same thing, uniformed all the way around, and then it's good to go. So I'm going to do the rest of these and then come back and we'll put the rest of the heads together. So I got the valves all machined up. Clayton checked them, he said they were good.
I'm sorry, I haven't even looked yet.
He signed off.
I didn't bring my mic.
So now what we're going to...
right here.
The mic's right there.
Micrometer.
So what we're going to do is, this is, actually it's just blocked off. So it has this plug in there. It's the same as for your coolant temp sensor, but for the opposite side, so it's plugged off. But I did it on my car. We're going to drill and tap this so that we can put a mechanical gauge fitting in there like this, or a mechanical water temperature gauge. So that's what we're going to do. Are you going to drill this, or am I going to?
No, I want to see you make some goddamn chips. Just make sure you drill it straight.
I don't know.
You got a square? Constant pressure. What sort of drill are you?
Well, I guess it's loose. I don't know.
Whoa, floor. Oh, you have a drill press?
Yeah, but we did it by hand last time, didn't we?
gotta put the head on the down here.
My dirt.
You got a vacuum?
Now Clayton's just tapping her up.
Not so bad there.
Almost.
I see it working.
Says finish. Oh yeah, I see stuff. Mike's setting up webcam for the live feeds.
That's good.
Big investment.
Looks pretty good, yeah.
Like I was worried about it being choppy, but
Right. Looks pretty good. I'm trying to up our webcam game or our live stream game. I mean. All right, so there we go. Now this screws right in there.
Rob, you got a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah. Hit. And the mechanical gauge will fit right in there.
Oh, that machinist.
And no more worry about the gauges for this thing.
No more.
So I got these Felpro valve seals, which look like this. And there's actually different ones for the exhaust and for the intake. So let's get those bad boys out. Like I said, I probably could have just left the old ones, but I figured for 20 bucks, I got the heads apart. Why not throw new seals on? Okay, so those are the exhausts. They just push on here, nice and easy, like that. Beautiful. Here's the valve springs I got. They're Trick Flow 16, 9, 18, 16. And apparently they're the same as the Pack 1218s. They're just made by Trick Flow, or they're made by Pack. They're just sold through Trick Flow. So they look basically the same. Here's your old spring. Here's your new spring. Woo. It's a little bit taller. Now we'll start. Quiet, Randy.
Action.
Randy's here, so we'll get the valve in. New valve spring.
What size are LS valves? Carry.
Can't remember. I'm not 100% sure. Offhand at the moment. They're pretty big though. Like the intake valve's pretty big. 1.6. I think the exhausts are 1.6.
You got your keepers cleaned up?
Mm-hmm.
But you gonna wash them up? They're all dirty.
I did. They're good. Is that on there?
Hold on. On here.
Alright. I put a little bit of assembly lube on the end of the...
Did you oil up the guides?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I poured a little bit down into where the guides are and the...
I usually write the
seals.
little engine oil on this.
Well, I don't have any engine oil, so I use assembly lube. These are definitely stronger than the stalkers.
Like it's
Are
down
you
in
putting
the
the
guides?
keepers in there? Huh?
Like you got enough goop in there?
Yeah, it's good. Oh, now you did it.
Guy one, Mike.
I'll get a different one.
then I'll catch up. Then I'll.
Yeah.
Got it?
Oh fuck! This can't take forever.
Alright, so that's 2 of them on. Now I'll just do the rest of them and you get the idea. They all look the same.
Put some mayonnaise from the waffle on it.